serious note. Let's serious note for a moment. Mauro Ranallo, absent, 3 weeks before WrestleMania and then missed WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Due to certain reasons, whatnot. But right now on social media, the backlash towards a friend of mine, a colleague, JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield, a guy that I have been knowing for more than 25 years. Man, it's crazy. I don't know if you saw SmackDown just last week. The chants were, fire JBL, and that right there, this flash mob, takeover, from the fans sometimes, getting into the business side because of social media now, and everybody knows everything, and
because of the sheets, brother.
Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of people like Ranallo.
Yeah.
A lot of people really, truly like Ranallo and what he does as a journalist, what he does as a commentator for New Japan for many years, for
Showtime Boxing.
Showtime Boxing, Strike Force. He's done it all. This guy's been around for a long time, and like I said, a lot of people love him. But the business, the wrestling business, is different than any other entity that you're going to ever encounter on this earth. And I can honestly, truly say that because I've been in it for 26 years, and I've figured it out how to make it, just because pretty much, I lived before I came to professional wrestling. This was relatively easy compared to my past life, but for some people I remember this guy, his name, he was called the Lethal Weapon back in the day.
Steve Blackman?
No. He was a football player for the Houston Oilers even back in the day. He came to the wrestling school, and he wanted to try to go from football to wrestling. And he almost lost his mind in the first, month, because, from a structured, organized sport that he's been playing, since Pop Warner, it was structured, it was organized. In junior high, it was structured. High school, college, was structured. To the pros, it was structured and it was organized. And then you get into professional wrestling, and they telling you to hit the ropes and then come back to the guy. You know what I'm saying? Things that, you can look at it and take it. It could totally, take you for a loop. And I think with Mauro, like I said, there again, I like Mauro, even though he blocked me. Actually, unfollowed me on Twitter. I mean, I didn't do anything. You know what I mean?
Same here.
We talk boxing all the time. But Mauro, obviously, had a problem with JBL and the way they did their work. Now, JBL is what's called a heel commentator. That's just something we do, and that's something that's been done since the beginning of time, and it's gonna go on throughout the history of professional wrestling. One guy's gonna be, for the good guy. One guy's gonna be for the bad guy, or vice versa. It's just part of the game. We got guys coming out right now talking about JBL and JBL bullying. This is the way I look at this right here. Now, I'm just going to be straight up, as far as this bullying term. Let's take that bullying term and put it back in preschool and our junior high schools and our high schools. But when you get out of high school, I think the bullying rule stops. You know what I mean? I think the bullying rule pretty much goes away when you're a grown man and you're able to take up for yourself and throw hands, or go and talk to someone and say, hey, I don't feel like I'm being treated right with this commentator here. Maybe you need to move me somewhere else and put me on another show. Otherwise, it could be problems there for ramifications. But I don't think the bullying rule should fall under grown men having an issue with each other. I don't know. You tell me, Bradley.
I didn't think of it that way, but when you just laid that out, I even looked at Josh. I was like, that's a great rule. I mean, I would never say, if I had a problem, and I've had problems with guys in the locker room or people I work with, and I would never say that I'm being bullied by those people. Some guys, hey, look, we live in a world where some people are going to be jerks, right?
Yeah.
Some people are going to rub you the wrong way,
Yeah.
right? But if someone screws with me every day, I'm either going to go up to him and we're going to have a conversation about it, and I'm going to see how we can either work together or, like you said, do I need to go somewhere else? And then that way there won't be an issue. I think your take's fantastic. I didn't think of it, but bullying stops when you walk across stage and get your diploma.
When you get your diploma, it's over, baby. And that's just the way. And you got people coming out like Stevie Richards. I know Stevie Richards. Stevie Richards, I would call him a friend.
Yeah,
I would say that. You got people like Justin Roberts, former ring announcer, who wrote a book about bullying. About being, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? If you had an issue with JBL, Justin Roberts, when he told you to, go buy the beer or whatever and pass it out to everyone, on the bus on the overseas tour, hey, you deal with it. You say, hey, man, I'm not doing that. You want it done, you do it yourself. I've been in the business 26 years, and I've yet to have been bullied by anybody. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was around the Steiner brothers.
Nasty Boys.
I was around the Nasty Boys. I was around some of the great, look here. Brian, what is his name? Flying Brian Pillman.
Yeah.
One of the most notorious ribbers I've ever seen in the business. God rest his soul. If Brian Pillman would have ribbed me, I would have beat the hell out of him. You'll still be hearing about that beating. People will still be talking about the beating Booker T gave Brian Pillman. God rest his soul. Me and Pillman, we didn't have any issues. But I'm going to tell you right now, if one of those guys, I'm going to tell you, this is what happened to me once. I'm going to tell you a little story. Brothers like to tell stories, all right? This is a story I'm going to tell you. It's a story, all right? So don't take this serious or anything like that. I'm having a conversation with Too Cold Scorpio back in the day, all right? We're talking about our match we're going to go out there and do. Scorpio's going to do this. I'm going to go out there and do that. We're going to go out and we're going to have a great match tonight. We're going to go out here and we're going to entertain the people to the utmost, to the highest degree. The best they've ever seen in their lives. I'm hungry because I've been on the road for 22 days. It's a long, long tour. I tell this kid, hey, please, here's a 20. Go get me a couple of hot dogs, please. No ketchup, just a little bit of mustard on the top, okay? Please, and a Coke. The kid says, okay. He goes to get my hot dogs. Too Cold Scorpio and I continues to go over our match. Maybe 20 minutes go by. I'm wondering where's this kid. I finally go out in the hallway. I see this kid. Hey kid, where is my hot dogs? He said, hey, I brought them to you. I set them right. They're not there. Where are they? And he tells me, I put them right here, man. I don't know. I put the hot dogs right here. I put the Coke right here, and I set the money right here, and all of it is gone. Now, I got a migraine headache. I'm hot. I'm mad right now. I'm real hot. Chris Benoit walks by me, and he has mustard on his lip. And I say, Chris, did you take my hot dogs? He says no, and he walks right to the ring. Now I'm fuming. I want to kill somebody.